Happy VA Wednesday. So today we're going to be talking about, can you use your VA loan to buy directly from the seller? Now, a lot of people think that VA is such a strict loan that you could never do that. Guys, VA is not that strict of a loan, and of course you can buy direct from the seller. So the circumstances I see the most are a landlord selling it to a tenant, or a family member selling it to another family member, or a service member selling it to another service member. So that is what I see the most of, and I'm going to walk you through what to expect. Okay, now when you're buying direct from the seller, real estate agents generally are not involved. Okay, if a seller is trying to sell you a house, without real estate agents, they're doing that to save money. So from a seller's perspective, they pay between 5 and 6% of the sales price to real estate agents if they go the traditional way. Now, there are some discount brokerages that are doing it for less, but the average, I would argue, is 5 to 6%. So when they're trying to sell direct, they're trying to get rid of that fee. Okay, now as a veteran buyer, you cannot pay a real estate agent. So if you're buying direct from the seller and the seller is saying, I don't want to pay for a real estate agent for you, and you're saying, but I want one, you can't pay them. So it gets very tricky in that way. Now, I don't generally see people fighting to keep real estate agents in the transaction. They generally just want to get it done. So let's talk about how you do that. Now, VA doesn't care if you have real estate agents involved. However, you will still need a title company and either an attorney or escrow agent involved. Okay, so it's really important that you recognize that it's not just going to be you say I'll buy that for $100,000, you call me, I give you $100,000. We still have to take all the normal steps we would take in purchasing a home. Okay, so the first step is you need a purchase contract. A lot of times people come to me and they'll say, well, can you give me a purchase contract? Guys, I'm a lender. I'm a licensed mortgage lender. I am not a licensed real estate agent. I cannot advise you on the purchase contract or how to fill out the purchase contract. I can just advise, guys, we need a purchase contract. You need to fill it out to the best of your ability. If we see anything glaring, we will bring it up to you, but we cannot advise on that. And if you have a mortgage lender saying, don't worry, I'll do it all, they are not a licensed real estate agent, and they should not be pretending they are. It'd be like me offering to give you, a heart surgery. Like, I'm not a doctor. A little dramatic, I get it. Okay, so no real estate agents, but we're still gonna have title and escrow or title and attorney, and you still have your lender, okay? So I'm gonna need a purchase contract. I've had lots of clients who've been able to get it online. If you type in purchase contract in your state, it's usually pretty easy to find someone, to find one. There's also companies where you can type in the information and they'll do it. So there's definitely a way to do that, so don't be discouraged. Now, in a lot of cases, let's say it was a for sale by owner, where it was listed as a FSBO. Realistically, ideally, you want the seller to put together the purchase contract, and you want to go through it with a fine-tooth comb. But what I see a lot of is the responsibility gets pushed to the buyer, because the seller feels like they're giving them a discount, so they push the work onto the buyer. So you want to make sure that you're comfortable with that. If you're like, oh, I don't understand any of this, guys, do not buy direct from a seller. Because what you have to understand is that when you're buying direct from the seller, you're not just the buyer, you're also the real estate agent, okay? Now, if you have a really good real estate agent, losing that person can lose you some negotiating ability, and that's important to note as well. You will be negotiating for yourself. If you find something wrong with the house, if you are like, wait, there's something wrong, or let's say the appraisal comes in low, you are negotiating. Okay, now if you're comfortable with all of that, great. And I have to say that overall, I haven't had any clients really trip up on that too much. They've generally had good relationships with the seller. It's a team effort to get the job done. I've only had a couple where the sellers were very caustic. So overall, generally these scenarios are team sport, okay? The big things, it's very similar to a normal transaction. I just need a purchase contract. I'm gonna order the appraisal. In most states, you are going to need a termite report. So that's something either you or the seller will need to order. Talk with your lender, me, of course, licensed in 48 states, so that I can tell you who can pay for it. Because there's certain states where you, the veteran, can pay for the termite report. There's other states where the seller or anyone else has to, but not you. And that's something we want to make sure we do right. Okay. The other thing is there's some states where you don't need a termite report. So you want to make sure that you're working with a lender me, who has really good communication and can help guide you to make sure that this doesn't become a nightmare. Okay, but the big question was, can you do a for sale by owner, and be the veteran buyer? Of course, we do it all the time. It's really easy. You guys just need a purchase contract to come to an agreement. But I do have to say that when you don't have real estate agents involved, you lose some layer of protection if you're working with good agents. If you're working with mediocre agents, honestly, you'd be fighting for yourself anyways. So I hope this video has been helpful. As always, please feel free, God, I can't talk today, to reach out to me. I am licensed in 48 states, and I've already told you 3 times in this video I should be your lender. So give us a call. We'd love to help. This is easy peasy. Thanks for watching, guys.